Test, test. Test, test. Bop, bop, bop. Bop, bop, bop. Ba-da-da-ba-ba-ba-do-do-do-do. Ah, you are in. I think I just saw my 2 watching now. All right. Hey, Jeffrey. So this is Dizzy. I'm at work right now, so we'll see how long I do this. I've never actually played on this phone while streaming before. This is the new Note 9. So I'm not going to explain everything on Note because you don't, or I'm sorry, on the notebook because you're already good with that. But I'll kind of show you kind of like how I play on it, and we'll just go from there. I'll play Tour 10 just because I'm a little more familiar with that. Hope you're doing well today. So I've found it to be pretty reliable when it comes to most of the shots on here. So, okay, so this is good. There's no elevation needed. I'm going to play with the Titan ball. Yeah, I go first. Okay. So we got 7.1. You know the min, medium, and max. So here's the max. Here's the min. That's the numbers you're going to get right here. So 7.1. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. 7.1. That's your numbers on the left. 5.3 from here, from the very top. 3.9 here from the very bottom. And here I'm just going to just use max numbers just because it's simple enough. 5.3. I'm not even going to adjust anything. I don't really need to. Even though I didn't line it up very straight. Whatever. Oops. Whoa. That's my fault. There's no lag there, so that's good. Hopefully I don't mess that up. Wow, that was a terrible shot for what I was trying to do. This is not a very good hole when to use the min, medium, and max because it's all gonna be max from here. What a terrible start for me. So I always like, oops, I gotta move this. I always like to adjust this ahead of time just so I can, how do I put this away? Here, let's put it right here.
Great shot.
Yeah, I just got this phone last week, so at the end of last week, so I'm still trying to figure it out, but the hell, it's a lot smoother than what it was on my last game. But as you can see, what Al was talking about, which I was actually, well, actually, I don't even think you're here anymore. You still here, Jeff? Oh, okay. Sorry. So 13, I already put my numbers in. So the max is going to be 16, anywhere about there. See, I do it this way. 5's here, 10's here. And then really, just so I'm not trying to like waste time here, I'm going to do another, well, actually I did 2. Oh, that's good. Now, oh yeah.
Big shot.
So that's kind of what I do right there to kind of help to figure that out really quickly. When it comes to the specific ring amount. Of course, on the left, 15 would be fine considering I put a little bit of the back on there. When you're looking at, I'm going to tell you what I do and the way I understand it. When you're going into, let's say if you're already at max, you need to pull back because you have tailwind, you have to decrease the numbers a little bit. So let's say, hypothetically, you have really strong wind like you have now. Let's say you have to pull it back to mid-range, then you use the min numbers and not the max numbers. That's the way I understand it. That's the way I do it, and it actually works really well. So I always try to adjust for where the release point is, not so much where the starting point is. That, like I said, that seems to be a lot more reliable
Perfect shot.
than the way I used to play it, which was more like where the starting point was. And it was very confusing back then. Sorry, I had something in my throat.
Nice on.
Of course, I don't need it for putting. I'm not a big fan of this hole. It's pretty easy, but not a big fan of it. Yeah, it's like I said, I just use this little crosshair, and that works with that. I mean, that's in all honesty, I'm not going to stream forever, but that's the primary thing that I go off of when it comes to the ranges there. I always look at min, medium, max when it comes to the club, and then where's my release point at, and I use that number specifically. But of course, I'm sure you know elevations. Elevations are going to be huge when playing a role in each specific hole. I'm in the process of trying to put together a small, or like an elevations kind of like guide, but it's so subjective. There's nobody really knows 100% for sure. So really knowing kind of what works when it comes to the elevation, it's going to be huge. Or sometimes you can feel like the notebook's off. In reality, it's actually more like the elevation's off. So I use 10% on this one, exactly where he's hitting. Well, you know what? I could try. Here, I'm just, for shits and giggles, I'm going to try 25%. And I'm going to try to hit that rough down there in the bottom. I don't do that very often, but I'm trying to zone in on it. Let's see if I can do that, because that's the spot right there. That's going to be a terrible, terrible shot because the wind isn't really set up for it. So this is going to either make it or break it kind of shot for me. Well, that's a good shot from him. Go down.
Nice
on. Hell of a play. Hell of a shot. I'm nice shot him on that. All right, let's see what happens here. So we have our min, we have our max. So it's starting off at just above the halfway point. Let's see if I do right there. See what happens. Oops, I don't like that. Okay, so I'm going to align it as best I can, 10-8, with the wind at about that angle. So it looks like it's going to be about the medium range or minimum, or yeah, middle range. So 10. And then you could do it this way, 13. Oh, crap, I'm running out of time. Sorry. So perfect. Let's see what happens. Whoa, what's it going? I'm still trying to figure that out, so we'll see. I'll zone in on that at some point. It wasn't bad, though, for just a brief try on that. He still won. So 25% there. That seems to be the go-to shot. I just the specific top spin is going to be the most important thing. Let's try another one. So I used the medium range last time, once again, just because I had to pull back a little bit from just above moderate. Now, what you'll notice too, and I'll tell you one more thing, just because this is what what's his name, Zachary Jones does. Here, let me see. This shot I can be real hit or miss on. So let's zero that out. Let's go back to that. I'll show you right now. So 5.2, I just want it to run to the left. So we'll see. Okay, whatever. All right, so what Zach Jones does too is he'll adjust specifically this number right here. So let's say before, let's say we're going for a 75%. He would put it here, you know, to 75, and you know that, which is, you know, halfway between you know, moderate to max and what it is. And so whatever number he has on here, and then of course angle. If you notice right there, the middle number is adjusted to be this specific amount. So if you know of a very specific spot you're going to hit, you know, if you do, you know, what he does, he goes max and then he goes minimum, then he finds the middle, and then he'll adjust based off of there about where does he think he's going to hit, and then he adjusts that number. You know, that way he could find a very specific number to hit. I personally don't do that just because I mean, that's a lot of time to waste to figure all that stuff out. I'm not that quick, but that seems to work for him, you know. So there's no elevation on the next shot. Hell, I don't even know where I hit. I wasn't even paying attention. Let's see. All right, Al, do it with your watery eyes. Okay. Looks like it's a terrible shot, but this is doable. Let's see here. 9.3, a little bit down. I'm going to do top, max. I want to overpower the crap out of this because it doesn't look like I'm going to be very good. I'll just try to see what happens. So, oh my God, I messed up. Oh, my screen is so so slick with this new phone. Let's see.
Great shot.
Ah! Whoops. That's a terrible shot. That's a makeable shot too. This hole, I like this hole actually, but if that first shot isn't very close to the edge, you got to do stuff like that just to make it work, and that's a pain in the butt. That's right. This guy's not gonna make it either. Not worried about it. Two or 10 and usually is so easy for me. I put it on here just to grind. Probably win closer to 65 to 70% of the time. Oh, he made it! He made it! Oh! Alright. Alright, so here's what I don't do on this. As I don't do the elevations very well when it comes to this. Because look how far it is. So what he'll do is he'll go max. Oh, shoot. He'll go max 50% and then go down to like 20% to try to figure it out. I personally don't, because God, what a pain, you know. But that's what he does on that. I kind of just eyeball it a little more. Hold on. Oh, man. I usually have a technique that I do, but I didn't want to do it because I didn't want to sound dumb. Where I click my tongue, I go like a metronome, and it helps me to get it to zero it on. I'll tell you what, now that I have somebody watching, I'm not playing very well. I'll play one more after this, and then I gotta actually work. I can play and work. I just can't play, talk, and focus and work. That's embarrassing. Oy.
Perfect shot.
All right.
Eagle.
2 on me. 2 on me, messing up. Well, 1 mess up. Come on. Why don't people want to replay? I swear I normally win. Yeah, I'm just going to do this one more and then I'm done. Hopefully I'll beat Jacob. I don't worry about losing on Tour 10 since it's so easy. Okay, what an easy hole this is too. I wish I had some katanas, but I don't. I actually like using katanas more for the most part on Tour 10. It helps with some of the shootouts. You could prep this up if you want it ahead of time. I don't.
Perfect shot.
I'm really stoked though that I can actually stream without it being laggy. This phone, man, with 6 gigabytes of RAM and the processor is freaking fantastic. I don't actually use the notebook on shots like these typically just because they're so easy, you know. 7.3, but whatever. So it's really close, just whatever, right here.
Perfect shot.
Okay, the elevation on this one, I'm actually stumped, I'm not gonna lie. It feels like it's uphill, but then it doesn't all at the same time, and I can't quite dial it in. It's really, really weird. So what I end up usually doing is just almost using like a 10% elevation where it's higher, but I'm so off on that quite a bit. I don't understand it. I need to watch actually, what's his name, Zachary Jones play, just so I can dial that in a little bit. I mean, it's an eagle to make it from here, but it's still.
Great shot.
Let's just try it the way I said it. Let's try a 10% elevation, just for giggles. Okay, so 7.5, just because I'm going to go back here. So 7.5 with just a little bit of crosswind. Oh, that's interesting. Look at that. Okay, so let's just try that out. Let's dial it back a little bit. Okay, so it looks like we're gonna, because we just pulled back, I'm gonna use maybe just above mid and to kind of see what that's at. Oops, so talking is really screwing me up. So about 7. Let's try that out. Oops, I was wrong there too. Oh well, no time to change it.
Perfect shot.
No time. Oh. Looks like it was an okay adjustment, just slightly off. I'm still trying to figure out how to let the wind kind of carry it, figure out those adjustments. I'm not very good at that, but I'm getting a little bit better.
Birdie.
But I think you see the gist in how I play personally. My max of trophies has been 4,900, and that was before I got the notebook. And then I just started losing my ass off. In 2 days, lost all 700 of my trophies in Tour 11. Eee. This is actually one that I used to do very well, but I don't anymore. I don't do it well. Okay, let's try this out. Okay, so min right here, max there, so it's going to be under mod or medium range. So let's say 6.1. I'm a little bit off in my angle, but okay. So let's do this. It's gonna be about maybe 3.5. You could do it this way, 3.5.
Perfect shot.
Oh, I did not play that well. I'll take that shot though. It was actually more like 3. which doesn't make any sense because that's below the minimum. But where this guy's hitting, I used to hit in that spot, and sometimes I still do. But the bounce can be so like uneasy, so unpredictable. I try to avoid that shot now. See, he's doing the same thing.
Perfect shot.
That's left, way left. Okay. Yay, I think I win one. Oh no, maybe not. Let's see. Yay! All right, that's all I'm going to stream him on. I got to get back to work, you know. Let's see. Ooh, that's good, Rachel. All right, maybe I'll start streaming a little bit more, like at nights, especially when it's just me. Maybe that'll help out a little bit. All right, man, I'm signing off. If you come back, I'll see you back on game.